Page 156, Amazing Grace. The top of the page introducing you to another musical term we use called pianissimo. You've already had piano as one P and that means soft. Well, pianissimo, two P's, is very soft. It's not twice as soft as one P, it's just softer. So don't think two P's is, is half as loud. It doesn't go that way. It's just softer. Very soft. And there's a 3P and a 4P, and good luck with that one. Well, let's talk about this piece. 3/4 time in the key of G major. Right hand first. Let's make sure we got the notes and the fingering and all that worked out in the rhythms. So we're starting out with third finger on G. Put you in this position. And it's a half note with eighth notes here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and then you have an E and a G together. 2 and then the left hand gets some stuff. Now you move up. You have one measure of rest. You got time to just move the hand up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and that D is tied to another D, so it's 5 counts. And then you go on. Second line, second measure, you're here. 1 and 2 and rest and during the rest you move down here. And 2 and 3 and then in the next line during that measure rest, you got a whole measure rest here, you move back up. You keep moving around. 2 and left hand. At the beginning, your thumb is on this D, puts you in this position. And it's beat 3. Remember, it's a pickup beat, so it's beat 3. It's 3, rest. So the rest is on beat 1. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. It's a G chord. We've had this before. You learn to you just see that pattern of notes and you just think of it as one unit. It's a G chord. Just play a G chord. 2, 3. Second line, 1, 2, 3. It's a B and a D. It's like a G chord without the G. So forth. Let's go to the top of page 157. Second measure, you have the D7 chord or the 5/7 chord. We've had that too. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And for the most part, that's it for the left hand. Put them together. So left hand, right hand, we're here. 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Now, let's get this rhythm right between the hands because the hands are doing different things and it's really important that you get a grasp on this. In the first full measure, you have a rest in the left hand. Then you play on beat 2. You're holding it down for the rest of the measure as you play this. And then in the next measure, when you play the B, you lift the left hand up. And then on beat 2, you come down, hold it down, and then lift up on the next measure. As you play that, you lift up. So you're doing different things, and it's really important that we're accurate with this because this leads into more difficult stuff later on. So let's get this now. Going on, the right hand's got to move up. So all the left hand's playing these notes, probably in the half note, you lift up and be ready to go. 1, 2. 1, 2. They're together on beat 1. 1 and 2 and because it's a dotted half note in the left hand. It's 3 counts. 1 and 2 and 3, 2. The right hand comes down. 1, 2 and 1 and 2 and 3. And right when you play that D, the left hand comes up. 1 and 2 and 3 and during that rest, the left hand has to come over to get the last measure. It's a G and a B up here. 2 and 4 is fine, 4 and 2. I don't care what fingers you use, but use fingers. So it's the last line there. 1 and 2 and 3. Just have it here ready to go. And then after into 2 beats, the hands come up together. And when you can play all that, no hesitations, the beat is steady all the way through, then we can add in there's not a lot going on in articulation. You have slurs. And on the slurs they've got, for the most part, they're happening on repeated notes most of the time. So the lifting up is built in. You have to do that on a repeated note anyway. You know? But it's like at the top of page 157 in the last measure. That first line, you're here. Don't connect the D and the B. Lift up, because it's in here. It's like, take a breath. And so forth. So put in the slurs as best you can. And then we add the dynamics. Well, at the beginning it's moderately soft. You'll have to decide what moderately soft is. It's sort of soft. And that's the melody. These chords need to be very soft. Really soft. Now that in the left hand, you see the words go with the melody. So if you have a note with words, it's melody. So here in the left hand, the second line, second measure on page 156, that's melody. Bring that part out. It's got to sound like one hand played at all. But the chords keep soft. Now at the top of page 157, in the second measure and third measure, you have that hairpin to get louder. Don't get much louder, just get a little louder. Each one of those can get just a little louder. Now it's forte, now you're loud, that's the melody. But keep this soft, we want to hear the melody. So that's melody, but that's soft. Now you're back down to moderately soft like you were at the beginning. And in the last line here, you have a retardando. You're going to slow down a little bit, and you're going to get softer, the hairpin to get softer. In the last measure, you're very soft. Well, so 1, 2, 1, and 2, and 3. So you're slowing down and you're getting softer at the same time. You're kind of fading away here. Really, you got to get to know the piece well enough that you can start getting into the music. You're not thinking about notes and rhythms and lift up here or play this rest or whatever. And then you feel it. And you feel the dynamics. You feel the articulation, or not much to feel there, but you feel the music. Speed-wise, it's gently moving. Well, most people have heard this song one way or another. You decide on how fast to go. Then on top of that, they've added some pedal in certain spots. Don't agree with it at all, but let's talk about it. They did it, so let's see what we got. You see, when we use pedal, there's certain reasons we use it. We don't just use it whenever. And at the beginning, we're not using it at all. And that's fine, we don't need it. Now we do. There, second measure, second line, they want it down. You push the notes down and then the pedal. And hold it down until after you play the G in the next measure. Right there. I don't know why they want pedal there. And the only thing it does is it connects the 2 Ds. The repeated notes makes them legato. Well, according to the slurs, it's not legato. Although, according to the words, it should be. So the slurs are not right. Because generally you would slur it according to the sentences. And the words are sweet the sound that saved. There's no break in there. It's just all flowing together. Here all together. The break, they're putting a break in there, but then they're covering it up with the pedal. It's like, what? So I don't agree with it, but they put it in. If you want to use it there, fine. In my opinion, you don't need it. You can leave it out. And then we don't use it again until the second line on page 157. Second measure, you hear? And I don't understand that. I don't need pedal to help me out here. So that second line, so I don't need any pedal in any of that. So I don't know why they're putting pedal there, but if you do, push it down after you play the notes, and lift it up after you play the E in the next measure. Right there. And they're doing it again on the next line. And here it is a phrase break. You do want some silence. And the way they're showing that is covering the pedal up. So I would leave pedal out here too. And then the last line, here they're doing the pedal to so you can hear all these notes and the overtones and all the way to the end. Kind of fills it in like so. My problem with that is that this whole piece has been rather dry and clean throughout the whole thing. And then all of a sudden at the end we add all these overtones? No. So I don't like this either. Now it is a little too dry, but if we're going to do that, I suggest you change the pedal at the bar line. Here. Then change after you play these notes. Change the pedal here and let that be by itself. And at the end, then when the hands come up, the pedal comes up with them. That's my opinion of the pedaling on this. I don't agree with it at all. Oh well. See, this is a good example of how different musicians and different people who write this stuff and edit this stuff all have their own opinions on how it could be played and how different ways of doing it. And this, to me, this is one of the wonderful things about music, is it's not just one way, you got to do it this way. There's a lot of different ways it can be done. Someone felt this was a good way to do it. I would, if I were your teacher and you're in front of me, I would take a pencil and scribble out most of those pedal markings. Don't want them. But that's fine. When we do the play with me, I'll go ahead and do the pedaling like it is in the book, even though I don't agree with it, just so you can see it in case you're doing it that way. So let's play it together very slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. Not going to do the dynamics. Since we come in on beat 3, I'll give us 2 counts. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1, 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 and 1 and 2 and off. Well, there's a duet part for this at the bottom of the page. I'll play that part and you play what you just played. We're going to speed it up a little bit and see what it sounds like together. I need you to go up an octave again. So just pretend the middle C is here on the keyboard. Just go up. And so instead of here, you're here. And play it up here. Here. Now the duet part doesn't have a beat on your pickup beat. You're by yourself. So I'll go ahead and play a D to get you, with you to get you started, and then I'll do the duet part. Ready, go.